Hello everybody, I'm Rory, welcome to Claude Painting Studio, and in today's video I'm unboxing the Dark Ages Army Builder set from Wargames Atlantic. So I've been shopping. A few videos ago I showed off a hoard of lead that arrived on my desk, and I've decided that the potential project that interests me the most is sub-Roman Britain. I got some late Roman Arthurian type figures in the lead pile, but I need to expand that force out into an army of a couple of hundred figures, something that will work for games of Hail Caesar and smaller skirmishy games off the back of that. I need to fill out the ranks, and Wargames Atlantic have just delivered the Dark Ages Army Builder, which has been promised for a couple of years. I actually backed it when it was in their Vox Populi public vote, and I'm happy to see that it has now arrived. So, what is inside the box? It promises 48 multi-part hard plastic 28mm figures. And there's a range of figures across the front here. We've got Franks with their nice hairstyle, a Saxon with his floppy hat, late Roman, possibly Goths, maybe even a lesser Viking warrior there with a Spangen helm. So there's some good information on the back about what this set can do, what you can build with it, and also describes how it can be combined with a couple of other sets that the Wargames Atlantic have out already. They're late Roman legionaries and Goth warriors. They're promising the late Roman legionaries to Lorica Squamata, and many more sets are in the works for this range. And there's some nice illustrated examples of what you can do with the box. Make some Goths, some unarmed late Romans, Saxons, and there's some Franks, again pointing out their fancy haircuts. So what actually comes in the Dark Ages Army Builder box? There's 3 different sprues. There's a body and head sprue, which has 8 bodies. Let's count them: 8, 18, 28, 36 heads. There's a weapons sprue, so we've got arms holding swords and knives, spears. There's a couple of holstered daggers, a couple of holstered swords, 2 axes I count there, plus a bunch of left arms for shields or just open-handed. You'll note that there's 2 of the bodies here and here don't have a left arm integrated with them, whereas the other 6 do. The final sprue is 21 shields. These have got a nice wood pattern on the back. These were previously released separately as the Dark Ages shields, I think. So there's 3 of these sprues, which will give you 63, so enough for the 48 figures plus some change. 6 arm and weapon sprues, 6 body and head sprues. So more than enough weapons for the 48 bodies that you can build, and what's 4 times 36, 120, 144 heads. So I think you're going to be sorted no matter what period you want to build these for. As a rough guide, sort of late Roman helmets along the top here. We've got some Frank haircuts, we've got some Saxon hats, more Frank haircuts, possibly for Goths or just general hairy guys, and Spangen helms, which would do for Saxons, even Vikings, getting into that 1066 period. So how do things go together? So I built this figure just with parts from the Dark Ages Army Builder. A right hand holding a spear, sort of at ease. A bearded head with no helmet. And these were easy enough to clip off the sprue, a little bit of mould line removal, but not much to speak of, so that's great. It's held together with plastic glue, and that'll rank up really well. We can fill out a back rank with these standing guys, and that'll look pretty good en masse. As a way of testing how easy it is to combine parts from different kits, I've got the body from the Dark Ages Army Builder here. I've added arms from the Goth Warriors set, and a head from the Irish set, which was one of the very early sets from Wargames Atlantic. If you want some bald heads, that's a good place to go. The head fits on okay. Sort of the neck design is fairly similar. I think his head's pushed a bit far forward if I'm being very critical, but you wouldn't notice that if he's in a block of 24 or so. And the arms go on just fine. Dimensions are about the same. And again, en masse, no problem there. The design of the spear on the Goth sprue is a bit slimmer and also has a weighted end. You could say that it's a javelin, or perhaps this guy's got more money to spend on spears, whereas this is a much more basic, lowly warrior. Time for an all-important size comparison. How do these Dark Age Army Builder figures scale up with some of the other models that are available there? I'll give you a rundown from left to right who we've got here. So this is Wargames Atlantic Late Roman, Gripping Beast Metal Late Roman. Here's a figure from the Dark Ages Army Builder set with the Goth arms and Irish head. This is a Gripping Beast Arthurian figure in metal. A Wargames Atlantic Goth Warrior. Wargames Atlantic Irish. Footsore Miniatures Irish in metal. Dark Ages Army Builder Plastic. This is a Gripping Beast Plastic Dark Ages Warrior. And at the end we've got a Victrix Plastic Viking. So I think that the Dark Ages Army Builder plastic figure scales well with just about everything that's here. The Footsore Miniatures Irish are quite a bit smaller than the other figures that I've got out here. The Victrix figure towers above, but you know, maybe your Vikings are just generally taller than the inhabitants of Britain at the time. The venerable Gripping Beast Plastic Dark Age Warrior has filled out many hundreds of ranks of armies over the years for many players. And I think that's probably the closest competitor in terms of price and role with the Dark Ages Army Builder. It was £30 for 48 in the Dark Ages Army Builder. I think you're looking at about 25 for, I want to say there's 48 in that box as well. So the price is a bit more for the Dark Ages Army Builder, but I think you get a bigger range of poses, and I think the figures are just a little bit prettier. The more modern sculpting techniques and casting techniques makes them a bit superior. I think if you want to have a really characterful Dark Ages army with lots of individual figures with huge amounts of details, then Victrix probably is the way to go. But I think some of the Victrix figures are a bit over-engineered in terms of how you build them on the sprue, with certain arms only working on certain bodies. And the amount of work you have to put in on painting is going to be a lot more complex than the rather simple plastic figures with robes and a belt. So my plan is to combine a huge number of these figures into one force. I think there is room for both the Gripping Beast Plastics Dark Ages Army Builder figures to be even in the same body of troops. And I can vary the poses, add some interesting character models, possibly using the late Roman set for some chainmail, and the Goth figures for a bit more variety. I hope you've enjoyed this unboxing video, and it's given you some answers to any nagging questions you had about the set. I'm looking forward to getting some of these painted, and hopefully I'll be back with some painting guides, or at least some hobby updates featuring some of these Dark Age figures. If I can get something painted up for that sort of sub-Roman, early Saxon period within the next couple of years, I'll be doing well, but I'll add it to the pile of never finished hobby projects. If you like Wargames Atlantic figures and you're thinking of getting some and you want to help support the channel, then I do have an affiliate link in the description for this video, so that gives me a nice little kickback, doesn't cost you anything extra. And there's other details on how to support the channel, like these excellent Patreon supporters and channel members on screen here. Thanks for watching. Be back with another video soon. Bye for now.